When you're looking at food and flavours, there was for a very long time the belief that there were four core flavours that your tongue and your mouth experience. And those are the four flavours that cooks and chefs really focused on balancing and getting right. Over a period of time, a lot of people felt this wasn't quite right. And one of the people who was the biggest advocates of this isn't quite right was Heston Blumenthal, who's the chef and the owner of the Fat Duck, which was, for a period of time, voted the best restaurant in the world. And he said there is a fifth flavour, and it's called umami, and you find it in certainly a lot of Japanese dishes and various others. And he went through a whole series of sort of processes and testing and tasting with scientists. And it's true, there are five flavours, and we'd ignored this umami, although in fact we all know what it is. And it's a sort of subtle flavour that sits in the back of the mouth and brings a lot of other flavours together. This sort of realization that we really should be talking about blending five flavors together rather than four strikes me as an analogy with learning construction and learning solutions. If you look at learning, we've really got a traditional four flavors, but actually you've got a fifth flavor. And the fifth flavor is this capture of this type of informal learning into that environment. And in a sense, Fuse represents the fifth flavor. So when you're looking at your learning solution for your organization, you need to be looking at the interactivity of all of these parts, not just three or four of them. You need to be looking at all five. I think it brings two things. I think it brings the ability to capture the knowledge and experience of the practitioner who isn't a learning practitioner. So the person who's actually doing the job. Look, I've done it this way and it works. Try this, do it this way. And it allows you to capture it, to structure it, to put it in a context and combine it with other things. It manages to capture small vignettes of understanding and learning that are going to help people when they need it. So the whole concept of just in time, just enough, and just for me, and it actually comes to reality. The same as you would get if you wandered over to somebody's desk and just asked, oh, remind me how to do this. You've got two bits. First of all, the ability to create and capture easily, quickly, and efficiently. If it isn't easy and isn't possible, it doesn't matter how good the idea is. If you can't do it, it just remains a theory. It's interconnecting all of these together. It's allowing them all to play their part and their role. And that's why I use the analogy for flavors, because you don't want anything to just be sweet or just be sour. You need the skill is in the blend. The skill of the learning practitioner is understanding how to take this and craft it to meet your needs and objectives. And that's what's so interesting, is it expands the whole nature of the possibility. E-learning didn't remove face-to-face learning. It added another dimension. It didn't make all face-to-face learning suddenly redundant. What it did was add another way of doing it. Fuse is doing exactly that for me. It's giving me another way of doing something different. And it's doing it efficiently, it's doing it cheaply, which is always great given these times. But for me, the most significant is that it's expanding the capability. It's not just replicating, it's adding to it. And that's what I think is so interesting. And I think that's where it fits in.